आप सभी को नमस्ते जी।
नमस्ते।
I've shared a YouTube stream link in the chat. आप कोई friends and family को जो Zoom join नहीं कर सकते हैं,
नमस्ते।
they can see it through the YouTube live. And I would request everyone to stay on mute if you are not the speaker, unless you are asking some question at some point.
सिक्स 35 हो गए, शुरू करें।
हाँ, शुरू करते हैं।
चलिए, मैं आप सबका स्वागत करता हूं। ये जो हमारे यूथ का प्रेजेंटेशन है, ये एक मोटिवेशन के तौर पे हमने शुरू किया था, जिससे कि हमारे बच्चे जो हैं, हमारे यंगस्टर्स जो हैं, जो ये इसको जान सके कि वो अपनी संस्कृति को पहचान सकें, उसको अपनी संस्कृति को आगे बढ़ा सकें। ये इवेंट अभी तो हम संभाल रहे हैं, पर इवेंचुअली हमारी प्लानिंग है कि ये सब उनके यूथ के हाथ में ही देना है सब कुछ। 6:35 हो गए, शुरू करें। और हमको खाली और हमको उस पे रहना होगा, केवल जैसे एज एन ऑब्जर्वर हम आएंगे उसमें। बच्चे ही प्रिपेयर करेंगे, बच्चे ही प्लान करेंगे, ये सब यूथ ही सबके करना, ये इवेंचुअली हमारा प्लान है। वंस ये लोग अप टू स्पीड आ जाएं, ये अपने आप समझ जाएं, अपने आप की दोस्ती बढ़ा लें, एक दूसरे से कम्युनिकेट करने लगे बच्चे, तो ये हम बढ़ा सकते हैं। ये हमने शुरू किया है अप्रैल दिस ईयर से। अभी तक जो प्रेजेंटेशन हुए हैं केवल मेलबर्न और एडिलेड के लोगों ने प्रेजेंट किया है। हम हमारे यूथ मेलबर्न और एडिलेड से ही प्रेजेंट किए हैं, और आज पहली बार न्यूजीलैंड और सिडनी वाले आ रहे हैं। एक न्यूजीलैंड का है, एक सिडनी का। उनका इंट्रोडक्शन सूर्या जी अभी देंगे थोड़ी देर में। हमारा एम खाली यही था कि बच्चों को इसमें आगे ला दें, हमारे यंगस्टर्स को आगे ला दें, यंगस्टर्स इसकी बागडोर संभाल लें, तो आगे का जो फ्यूचर जो होता है उनका ही होता है, उनका ही है और उनको ही संभालना है। तो चलिए, मैं सूर्या जी से निवेदन करता हूं कि हमारे जो दोनों स्पीकर्स हैं उनका इंट्रोडक्शन वो करें। धन्यवाद
जी, धन्यवाद प्रशांत जी। आई वेलकम यू ऑल अगेन एज वेल। एंड मैं दोनों स्पीकर का इंट्रोडक्शन साथ में दे देता हूं, फिर एक के बाद एक प्रेजेंटर से रिक्वेस्ट करेंगे, दे विल प्रेजेंट देयर सेशन टुडे। तो पहले हमारे फर्स्ट प्रेजेंटर इज मेधवानी राव जी फ्रॉम ऑकलैंड, न्यूजीलैंड, She grew up in Labasa, Fiji. Coming from staunch Arya Samaj family, she has been vegetarian since birth. She has been doing Havan at home ever since she remembers. She continued Vedic studies in Shivir in Fiji and still continues to learn about the Vedas every day. Medwani ji is a nurse by profession. She is a member of Arya Samaj Prathinidhi Sabha Incorporated New Zealand for 11 years and was an assistant secretary for several years. Currently, she promotes children and youths in learning to do Havan, teaches about Vedic and Indian festivals. Medwani ji is also an aspiring Purohita and also spend time with the Purohit Mandal in New Zealand to learn more. Medwani ji wishes to help youths and children to learn about the Vedas, do Havan, Sandhya, and learn about the great Maharishi Swami Dayanand Saraswati. Her focus is to pass on Rishi's teachings to our future generation, and therefore today she will be giving a presentation on children, our future. So that's our presenter number one, and presenter number two is Jaspriya Chand ji. She is a daughter of Jagdish Chand and Asha Chand from Sydney. She also comes from a staunch Arya Samaj background, and the entire family are members of APSA. Jaspriya Chand ji is also a very active member of APSA Youth and participated in Sammelans in Sydney, Brisbane, and Melbourne. Jaspriya ji is in her final year of Bachelor of Physiotherapy. Apart from being a good orator, she also performs Nitya Yajna, plays harmonium, and sings bhajans. Today, Jaspriya ji will be giving a presentation on being an Arya Samaji, simple and easy. So I welcome you both. Thank you for presenting today, and I'll request Medwani ji to start as a first presenter for the day. You can unmute yourself and you can share your screen.
Thank you, Suriji. Just let me know if you can see my screen. Yeah.
Yes, we can. I can make it present.
Yes, it's visible.
Okay. Awesome. Sabhi ko namaste. I'm Medha, Medhavani, Medha. सबसे पहले तो मैं आर्य युवा दल ऑस्ट्रेलिया को धन्यवाद देती हूँ, जिन्होंने हमें यह अवसर प्रदान किया और एक माध्यम प्रदान किया कि जिससे हम अपनी प्रस्तुति पेश कर सके, डूइंग आवर प्रेजेंटेशंस। आज का मेरा विषय है बच्चे हमारे भविष्य। So I'll ask you to please focus on this statement, I would say, बच्चे हमारा भविष्य। आगे चल के towards the end of the presentation, I don't know if we will still be talking about the बच्चे हमारा भविष्य, तो गौर फरमाइए। और we will try and I'll try and put in more questions in between, so we can talk about it later. इस संसार में इंसान जब तक बच्चा है तब तक समझो वह सच्चा है। श्रोताओं, वेद का यह आदेश है, स्वस्ति पंथा मनुचरेम सूर्य चंद्रमसा विव पुनर्ददताग्नता जानता संगमे महि। अर्थात, हे परमेश्वर, हम उत्तम मार्ग पर एक दूसरे के पीछे चलें। सूर्य चंद्रमा के समान हम श्रेष्ठ आचरण वाले हों। हम ज्ञानवान योग विद्वानों की संगति बार बार करते रहें। अपने संतानों को हमें सही मार्गदर्शन कराना है, जिस तरह इस मंत्र में दर्शाया गया है। बच्चे कितने मासूम, कितने कोमल और कितने निश्चल स्वभाव के होते हैं। उन्हें निर्मल जल की तरह जिस भी सांचे में भी डालो या जैसा भी संस्कार डालोगे, वैसा ही उनका जीवन निर्माण होगा और आज के बच्चे कल के हमारा भविष्य कहलाएंगे। प्यारे श्रोताओं, सर्वप्रथम हम यह जान लें कि बच्चों के जीवन गर्भाधान से ही शुरू हो जाती है। इससे भी पहले बच्चों के पैदा होने की योजना बनाई जाती है। इसीलिए संस्कार विधि में स्वामी दयानंद जी ने माता पिता को याद दिलाया है कि गर्भाधान से ही बच्चों पर अच्छे संस्कार डालना शुरू कर दें। इसकी स्वर्णमय उदाहरण महाभारत के वीर अभिमन्यु जी हैं। आजकल तो बच्चे खेल खेल में पैदा हो रहे हैं। As we may hear from some people when we congratulate them on having a baby, they say it's a surprise baby. In Vedic culture, there's no room for accidental or surprise babies. हमारे धार्मिक ग्रंथों के अनुसार या हमारे वेदों के अनुसार बच्चों के पैदा होने से पहले 3 और पैदा होने के बाद से लेकर पढ़ाई पूर्ण होने तक 9 संस्कार होना अनिवार्य है। यह सब करने के लिए एक माता पिता को तप, त्याग और नियमों का पालन करना होता है, क्योंकि प्रकृति भी हमें यही सीख देती है कि अगर बोए पेड़ बबूर के तो आम कहाँ से होए। You reap what you sow. Children follow the footsteps of their parents. This means that the parents have to improve themselves. बच्चों के निर्माण में माताओं की जिम्मेवारी कुछ ज्यादा होती है। जैसे महर्षि स्वामी दयानंद जी ने दर्शाया है, माता निर्माता भवति. Another reason why Maharishi worked on women empowerment, we heard about this last month from Priyanka ji. Manu Maharaj ji in Manusmriti emphasizes the respect and responsibility of a mother is 1,000 times more than that of a father. उदाहरण के तौर पे जैसे स्तनपान करते समय माँ के मन में उत्पन्न हुई हर एक विचार बच्चे के मन में प्रवेश कर जाता है। गर्भवती माँ का भी यही हाल होता है। आजकल की युवा पीढ़ी अपनी संस्कृति और सभ्यता को ना मानते हुए अपने बच्चों का निर्माण कैसे करेगी? ये आज बहुत बड़ा प्रश्न है। पिता और गुरु भी बच्चे को शिक्षित करते हैं। पिता का व्यक्तित्व भी महान होना चाहिए। जैसे मनु महाराज ने कहा है कि एक पिता 1000 आचार्यों के तुल्य होता है, और गुरु भी ऐसा हो जो कि अपने शिष्य की मन की अवस्था को पहचान ले। बच्चों की विचारधारा पौधों की तरह कोमल होती है। पेड़ जब पौधा होता है या पौधे के रूप में होता है तो हम जिधर चाहे उधर मोड़ सकते हैं। बड़े होने पर अगर पेड़ों को मोड़ना चाहोगे तो वह टूट जाएगा। उसी तरह हम अपने बच्चों को जैसा चाहे वैसी शिक्षा दे सकते हैं। अगर बड़े होने पर बच्चों को बदलना चाहोगे तब वे विद्रोह पर उतर आएंगे। इस काल में भौतिकता और नास्तिकता की चकाचौंध में लोगों के साथ साथ बच्चों की विचारधारा भी उल्टी होती जा रही है। काम वासनाओं को उत्तेजित करने वाले फिल्में बनाए और देखे जाते हैं। खोटे और गंदे विचार उत्पन्न करने वाले किताबों को पढ़कर बच्चों पर बुरा असर तो पड़ता ही है। परंतु आधुनिक वैज्ञानिक काल में इंटरनेट बड़ी अजीब चीज है। इंटरनेट के जरिए भी बच्चों को सभी तरह के ज्ञान उपलब्ध है, सभी तरह के अच्छे और बुरे। The children have access to everything via internet, just on their fingertips. So, what should the parent do? The parent can monitor what the child sees or perceives. कभी कोई कुछ देखता है तो उसका परसेप्शन भी होता है। आप कुछ देखते हैं, आपको समझ डिफरेंट आएगा। मैं कुछ देखती हूँ, मुझे समझ डिफरेंट आएगा। ऐसा भी होता है। So what they see and perceive, two different things. साथ साथ घरों की बिगड़ी हुई माहौल बच्चों पर ज्यादा असर करता है। It adds fuel to the fire when there is domestic violence, foul language, social problems. Children from broken families are affected the most because they don't have a support system. वेदों का आदेश सुसंतानों का निर्माण करना है। हमें अपने बच्चों को वैदिक सभ्यता के अनुसार शिक्षित करनी चाहिए, जैसे कि अपनी संतानों को अच्छी भाषा बोलने की शिक्षा, not just Hindi or English, but not foul language. It can be any language rather than a foul language. शुद्ध आहार की शिक्षा, वार्तालाप करने की शिक्षा, वस्त्र कैसे धारण करना है, माता पिता और विद्वानों का मान सम्मान कैसे करना है, और बुरे कर्मों से दूर ही रहना है, staying away from drugs, alcohol, and practicing celibacy. जैसे जैसे बच्चों का सामर्थ्य बढ़ता जाए वैसे वैसे उत्तम बातें सिखलाते जाएं। Parents can be friends with their children. Have open discussions at home. Children should feel confident in discussing sensitive issues with them. श्री चाणक्य जी ने भी यही लिखा है कि अपने बच्चों को हम शिक्षित करें, नहीं तो माता शत्रु पिता बैरी येन बालो न पाठिता न शोभते सभा मध्य हंस मध्य बको यथा। अर्थात वे माता पिता अपने संतान के पूर्ण बैरी हैं, जिन्होंने उनको विद्या की प्राप्ति नहीं कराई। वे विद्वानों की सभा में ऐसे तिरस्कृत होते हैं जैसे हंस के बीच बगुला। तो चलते हैं वापस इस मंत्र पे। पुनर्दत्ताज्ञता जानता संगमे मही। हम ज्ञानवान विद्वानों की संगति बार बार करते रहें, क्योंकि संगत का असर तो पड़ता ही है। वेदों के मार्ग पर चलने वाले कभी पथभ्रष्ट नहीं होते। सूर्य चंद्रमा विवाह, सूर्य और चंद्रमा के भांति श्रेष्ठ आचरण वाले हों। The sun and the moon are approximately 2 billion years old. उन्होंने अपना धर्म नहीं त्यागा, अपना मार्ग कभी नहीं बदला। इसी तरह वेदों के मार्ग पर चलने वाले दुनिया की किसी भी कोने में चले जाएं, वे पथभ्रष्ट कभी नहीं होते। Even in a situation like COVID-19, the Vedic ways are applicable in today's world as well. आजकल दुनिया की परिस्थिति कुछ बदल गई है, thanks to COVID-19 obviously, जहां लोग उदास है और हताश है कि वे कहीं घूम फिर नहीं सकते, अपने रिश्तेदारों से दूर हैं और उन्हें मिलने जा नहीं सकते। वहीं कुछ ऐसी बातें भी हुई है जो अच्छी है, again thanks to COVID-19। हमारी सभ्यता हमें यह सिखलाती है हाथ जोड़कर नमस्ते करना। कोविड-19 के जमाने में सबको यही ठीक लगता है। Shaking hands with people carrying microbes on their hands can be a sure way of contracting the germs leading to disease spread. आजकल लोग हिचकिचाते हैं हाथ मिलाने से। आज के यह महामारी में प्रिंस चार्ल्स और डोनाल्ड ट्रंप भी हाथ जोड़कर लोगों से मिलते हुए दिखाई दिए। वैदिक परंपरा के अनुसार हाथ मिलाने और गले लगाने से अनेक कीटाणुओं से कई रोगों की वृद्धि होती है। देखो तो श्रोताओं, हमारे वेदों में यह बात बतलाई गई है। कितनी सुंदर बात है कि वेदों की बातें आज भी उपयुक्त है। बच्चों के लिए वेदों का ज्ञान मार्गदर्शी होता है। It's not a waste of time. जात कर्म और नामकरण संस्कार में भी स्पष्ट है, बच्चे के मस्तिष्क को सूंघे न कि चूमे। अक्सर जब कोई बच्चों को मिलने आता है, लोग चूमते हैं। उनके मुंह से निकलते हुए ड्रॉपलेट्स बच्चों के शरीर पर रह जाते हैं, जिससे वे बीमार हो सकते हैं। महर्षि स्वामी दयानंद जी ने यह भी दर्शाया है कि जब तक निष्क्रमण संस्कार ना हो, तब तक बच्चे अपने घर में ही सुरक्षित हैं। And we all know that babies are vulnerable. Until then, they don't have any antibodies. Hence, reiterating how applicable Vedas are in the development of a child. शायद ये COVID-19 दुख के भेष में सुख है, a blessing in disguise maybe. हमें इस समय का पूरा फायदा उठाना चाहिए और बच्चों को वेदों के आधार पर शिक्षित करनी चाहिए। ना कि सिर्फ बच्चों को, अपने आप को भी वेदों से वंचित ना रखो। कुछ सीखने की कोई उम्र नहीं होती, हम रोज कुछ न कुछ नया सीखते हैं। By laying a Vedic foundation for our children, we are generating a better future. श्रोताओं, हमारे बच्चे ही हमारे देश और समाज के भविष्य हैं। अगर हम उन्हें सही संस्कार देंगे, तभी तो भविष्य सही होगा। To conclude, let me ask, क्या बच्चे ही हमारा भविष्य है या ये हम ही खुद अपना भविष्य निर्माण करते हैं बच्चों के द्वारा? सुनने के लिए धन्यवाद। नमस्ते।
Thank you. You can stop sharing the screen so that you can see all.
Stop share.
Thank you so much, Midwani ji. Any questions or suggestion or thoughts?
चलिए, किसी के पास अगर क्वेश्चन नहीं तो मैं एक प्रश्न पूछूं।
जी।
हमने जब ये शुरू किया था यूथ प्रेजेंटेशन, तो पहले प्रेजेंटर्स जो थे, सूर्य जी और शक्तिवेश जी, उन दोनों का टॉपिक था, एक का टॉपिक था आर्ष ग्रंथ क्या होते हैं, दूसरा का टॉपिक था कि मानवों का मूल उद्देश्य क्या है मानव जीवन का, यानी कि व्हाट इज आवर एम इन लाइफ, इस ह्यूमन लाइफ का। आपने बच्चों को भविष्य बता के किया है, तो बच्चों को भविष्य के लिए पहले आपने जो बताया कि माता पिता को किस तरह से रहना चाहिए, तो एज अ नर्स ऑल्सो आप ये बात बताइए कि जब माता पिता, क्योंकि कि आज का जो संसार है, आज हम रहते हैं, मोस्टली हम उसमें फंसते हैं, क्या कहते हैं, स्ट्रेस और ये सब में। क्यों होता है? क्योंकि कि हमारा इतना बिजी स्केड्यूल होता है, हमको प्रोजेक्ट्स मीट करने होते हैं, हमको टाइम मीट करना होता है कि हमारे ये प्रोजेक्ट्स इसमें मीट करना है। तो उसके लिए एज अ यूथ, और आप माँ भी हैं, बच्चे भी हैं आपके, तो आप ये बताइए कि आप इसमें क्या सजेशन दे सकती बाकी जो हमारे बच्चे हैं साथ में जुड़े हुए हैं और बड़ों को भी, कि क्या सजेशन दे सकते हैं, क्योंकि ये सिचुएशन सबके जीवन में कभी ना कभी आएगी।
जी हाँ, पहले तो यू आर करेक्ट। बिगिनिंग में हम ये सवाल उठाए थे कि कैसे बच्चों को लेकर आ रहा है, कैसे क्या करे। अभी भी ये प्रश्न होता है सभी के मन में कि क्या करें, what shall we do to get the kids involved, to do what to do basically. As a nurse, these culture is complicated. As a nurse, culture is very complicated. You can't offend anyone by saying that you're wrong, but you can tell people about what you think your culture is. You can tell people about what is right according to your Sanskriti. So, for example, हाथ जोड़कर नमस्ते करना, simple things like that. ये सदियों से चली आ रही है, and all of a sudden, because of Western influence, everyone goes for a handshake. Oh, if you want a good impression in an interview, you should do a handshake. Like ऐसा preach किया जाता है, and it's just a what do you call it? It's just a learned pattern. It doesn't mean, I don't know what it means because I don't know about that culture that much, but what we know what namaste means, and we have to promote that. As a mom, yes, it is very difficult to get time for children, especially when they are young. And we always, me and my husband, we always talk about time निकालना पड़ेगा, कुछ करना पड़ेगा इनके लिए. You have to forgo certain things for yourself to be able to do something for your children. आप बच्चे पैदा ही क्यों करते हो? जब बच्चे संभालना नहीं है या बच्चों को संस्कार नहीं, टाइम नहीं दे पाते हो, तो पैदा ही क्यों करते हो? It's not their responsibility to take care of their parents. It's not the kids' responsibility. You have that responsibility towards your child. एक माता, एक पिता, और माता मनुस्मृति तो आप जानते हो, मैं तो बहुत नहीं जानती, मैं तो थोड़ा बहुत जानती हूँ उसके बारे में, बट एक माता, एक स्त्री का स्थान क्या है in a society, in a family, and that's very important to know that a mom is given utmost respect in the family, so it's higher than that of a dad or a father. Again, माँ के विषय में, like बच्चों के विषय में, if you have a child, you have committed yourself to giving that child the life, that better life that you had. मैंने अपने पेरेंट्स से बहुत सीखा है, बहुत कुछ सीखा है, और also I'll take this opportunity to thank my father and my mother and my husband that they helped me out with this presentation. And children learn from their parents. मैंने देखा मेरे parents मुझे कैसे ब्रॉट अप किए, मुझे संध्या करना सिखाया, हवन करना सिखाया, स्मॉल थिंग्स लाइक दैट। मेरी बच्ची 3 साल की है, अभी मैं उसे सिखा रही हूँ संध्या, मैं उसे हवन पे बिठाती हूँ कि ऐसा करते ऐसे करते। तो यू हैव टू टेक द टाइम आउट एंड यू कांट कीप सेइंग कि ओ वी डोंट हैव टाइम, वी डोंट हैव टाइम, वी हैव टू गो टू वर्क। किसके लिए काम कर रहे हो भाई? You have to think outside the box a little bit. Like if you can't handle children, please don't have them, basically. So I hope I answered your question. I think I was
थैंक यू बेटा, यू हैव डन वेरी वेल।
out of
इसमें एक
topic a
क्वेश्चन और
bit.
आता है, आपने कहा कि आप अपनी बच्चों को सिखा रही हैं,
जी।
हाउ आर यू टीचिंग देम?
So किरण सुंदर आंटी जी है यहाँ पर, पंडिता है। We have a little group of youths, youths as in बच्चे भी है उसमें। और
सॉरी मैं डिस्टर्ब करता हूँ, ये नहीं बता रहा हूँ मैं, मेरा पूछना ये था कि आप कैसे बच्चों को दिखा रहे हैं कि ये करना है, कैसे करना है?
At least we are starting off with the हवन, कि हवन कैसे करना है।
यानी कि आप खुद करती हैं?
जी हाँ, जी हाँ।
एग्जैक्टली यही बात मैं बताना चाहता हूँ, जब तक कि माता पिता के आचरण नहीं होंगे बच्चे नहीं सीखेंगे।
हाँ, तो
थैंक
हम
यू
खुद
बेटा,
करके
वेल डन,
दिखाते
वेल
हैं
डन,
ना।
वेल डन।
Thank you. Any other questions? I'm happy to talk.
One quick small question कि kids फैमिली के साथ तो समय बिताते हैं, लेकिन उसके अलावा मेजर पार्ट जब जैसे जैसे बड़े होते हैं बच्चे, मेजर टाइम अपने फ्रेंड्स और आउटसाइड वर्ल्ड के साथ या वेस्टर्न वर्ल्ड के अंदर स्पेंड करते हैं।
Yes.
So what's your message and communication, how they can protect themselves in that environment to enjoy that Western world, but at the same time not get influenced, carried away with that environment? What's
Yeah.
your suggestion there?
Definitely an issue at the moment. It's definitely an issue in 3-year-olds, in 13-year-olds, in 30-year-olds, everywhere. What I would say, and I've reiterated this in what I have spoken about, कि अपने बच्चे में बाहर जाने से पहले, बच्चे स्कूल कब जाते हैं? 6 साल पे। किसी से मिलते हैं, डे केयर तो आजकल बहुत हाल ही स्टार्ट हो जाता है। अपने बच्चों में इतने कूट कूट के संस्कार डाल दो कि nothing can influence them. Nothing. I think that's the main thing. You have to spend that time. इन्हें कि ओ लड़कन बिगड़ गए, like kids are out of hand now. Why have they gone out of hand? Did you take the time, spend the time, do sandhya with them, do havan with them, teach them about the Vedas, teach them about who Swami Rishi Dayanand was? You have to spend that time. You can't say कि मेरे पास टाइम नहीं है। अपने लिए कम टाइम निकालो, बच्चों के लिए तो निकालो। And second part of your question is being able to recognize that कुछ गड़बड़ होने वाला है, कुछ गड़बड़ होने जा रहा है. The kids should be you should be, the way you behave with the children. I mean, I'm still learning because मेरी बच्ची छोटी है अभी. So the way we behave with children, they should come and tell you everything. आजकल क्या होता है, बच्चे स्कूल में जाके टीचर से बताते हैं, घर पे ये हुआ, मुझे मार पड़ी, मुझे डांट पड़ी, and they call the police, right? In the worst case scenario. But it should be the other way around, कि स्कूल में क्या हुआ, तुम्हारे फ्रेंड्स कौन है, क्या खाया, क्या पिया, कौन क्या बात कर रहा है, कैसे बात कर रहा है. And children are very good reflection of their peers, whether it be parents or whether it be their peers at school. So ऐसे स्कूल में कैसे बातें करते हैं, इंग्लिश ना, आजकल तो इंग्लिश ज्यादा होता है. They come and start talking to you in that language because they're influenced. तुम्हें क्या करना है, इंग्लिश नहीं, अपना भाषा डालना है. इतना कुट के भर दो. अभी I'll just give you an example, small example. My baby's daycare tells me that she had some pani because she wants pani. So they are learning the language. They are learning the language कि pani किसे कहते हैं. It's just an example. So we should be able to have a relationship in such a way that the children are confiding in you, come and telling you things, and then you can advise accordingly. ये नहीं कि कुछ छुपा हो या whatever. ऐसा माहौल भी नहीं होना चाहिए कि oh, I can't talk to my dad about this, or I can't talk to my mom about this. So creating that environment where they're comfortable and feel safe to say things. I hope I answered your question.
Thank you so much. Very nicely answered. Thank you. Any other questions from anybody else?
नमस्ते, अश्विन फ्रॉम सिडनी.
नमस्ते.
मेरा ये सवाल है कि हम अपने बच्चों के माता पिता हैं। अभी आपने बताया कि हम अपने बच्चों के दोस्त बने, तो मेरा सवाल ये है कि दोस्त क्यों बने और कैसे बने? धन्यवाद।
Very good question, I'd say. I'm still learning. तो अभी मैं अपने बच्चे की माँ हूँ। जब समय आता है दोस्त बनने का, तभी बनते हैं दोस्त. See, my parents are my friends, and I don't know how that happened. It just happened. I remember my dad being a dad to me. डांटते थे कि पढ़ाई करना है या ये करना है वो करना है, behave well, blah blah blah, all those things. But when they became my friends, I don't know, and I'm still learning. And once I learn that, I'll let you know. I think anyone else can answer that question, please.
Thank you, जी.
Thank you everyone for the questions. Let's move on to next one. We can have follow-up questions in the end as well. So now I'll request Jaspriya ji to proceed with your presentation. You can share your screen.
Hello. Good afternoon, everyone. Namaste. Hope everyone is nice and safe during these uncertain times, especially with COVID. So starting off with my presentation, I'm actually going to get my sister to sing a song because we're all Arya Samajis and we should all be happy. It's a part of my concept, so I hope you enjoy this song.
Hello. Feel free to follow along on your side, muted, if you'd like. O Ved ke gyata, तुझे जग ढूंढ रहा है, तुझे जग ढूंढ रहा है, आवाज दे तू कौन सी नगरी में छिपा है, ओ वेद के ज्ञाता, आने से तेरे पहले निकला था दिवाला, बैठ कर अंधकार किया जग में उजाला, किया जग में उजाला, रखेंगे तुझे याद जो उपकार किया है, ओ वेद के ज्ञाता, सागर था दया का तू, भारत का दुलारा, अरे वाह दयानंद तू था दुनिया से नियारा, पीयूष का प्याला तेरे हाथों से पिया है, ओ वेद के ज्ञाता, पी कर के जहर तूने ना छोड़ी भलाई, उड़ में हमारे तूने अमित ज्योति जलाई, अमित ज्योति जलाई, जग में अगर कोई जिया तो तू ही जिया है, ओ वेद के ज्ञाता, तुझे जग ढूंढ रहा है, तुझे जग ढूंढ रहा है, आवाज दे तू कौन सी नगरी में छिपा है, ओ वेद के ज्ञाता. Namaste.
I hope everyone's feeling a bit more happy and feeling a bit more relaxed. So to start off with my topic, I'm going to be talking about why being an Arya Samaji is simple and easy. So to be an Arya Samaji in English translation means to be a noble person. So this mainly includes following Vedic Dharma and continuing the movement, the Arya Samaj movement started by Maharishi Dayananda Saraswati. However, currently in this generation, in this society, I'm talking about now, there's this big arising issue that being an Arya Samaji is difficult. Following Vedic Dharma is difficult. A lot of youth and my friends tell me when I talk about Arya Samaji, when I talk about Vedic Dharma, they said it's very hard, it's very difficult. They're very discouraged. So I thought to myself, is it difficult? No, it's very easy, in fact, and it's very simple. And I'm going to be talking about why. Part of the reason why it's very difficult is also the way it's portrayed in society. I go to speeches where, like when I go to my temple, the Arya Samaj Center, there's 1 and 2 hour speeches about what we should be doing and how we should be doing it. And it makes the concept so difficult. And I think this is why some youths are very discouraged. They don't want to be a part of our society. So yeah, that really raised the question and it got me thinking. So that's what I'm going to be talking about today, and how we're going to counteract this issue and how we're going to promote Vedic Dharma and get youth together. So first of all, I'm going to talk about Vedic Dharma. So Vedic Dharma, it's based on logic. It's based on reasoning. What have we been told as children growing up? We should be doing Hawan Yaj. We should be doing yoga. We should be doing meditation, etc. And it's all true. We should be. Meditation is good for the mind. It's for your peace. It's good for your, as a physio, I can say it's good for your lungs and breathing exercises. Hawan Yaj is very important. It's symbolic. It's good for the atmosphere. Yoga is very good. It's also, apart from the mind, it's good for your exercise and physical well-being. And it's all very good, except when someone tells me to be an Arya Samaji, you have to do 30 minutes of meditation, you have to do Hawan Yaj twice a day. It's just like, okay, but what happens if you're an Australian-born male and you can't speak Hindi and you can't speak Sanskrit? How are you going to do a Hawan Yaj? What about those youth who are in China who don't understand Hindi and Sanskrit? What happens if you're an 18-year-old girl and you're doing your HSC? You go to school, you do 8 hours, you come home, you have to study 4 or 5 hours. You don't have time to be doing Hawan Yaj, to be doing meditation. What happens if you're a pregnant woman or you've just given birth to a baby, you have 3 babies, you're taking care of your babies, doing the household work, going to work? Where do you have time for this? So so the whole idea has been portrayed as very difficult. So I'm asking you right now, if we don't do Hawan Yaj every day, if we don't do meditation, if we don't do all the rules that we have been told to do, does that mean I'm not an Arya Samaji? No, we are. Everyone in the Zoom call is an Arya Samaji. There's a saying that if your intentions are pure, and if you are trying your best, that's all that matters. Because God is with us. A part of Arya Samaji is God's with us. God is everywhere. God knows our intention. God, Om, is right now listening to this conversation. So if you're trying your best, and if you can't do Hawan Yaj in the morning, it's okay as long as you're trying. And I think another way to and I think with youth, rather than saying do this, do that, trying to break it down and trying to get them more interactive. Example, starting off with teaching them the Gayatri Mantra and being like, in the morning, how about you do Gayatri Mantra 3 times in the morning, 3 times in the afternoon? That's a great start for someone who's never done Hawan Yaj before. Or how about maybe telling or ideas such as, for someone who's never done meditation, there's now these new apps called mindfulness, and it really helps you with mindfulness apps. It's like a 15-minute or sometimes it can be 5-minute videos, and it says relax, take deep breaths in, relax your eyes, relax your nose. So it's very good for someone who's never done meditation before. I ask you all, if you've done meditation, how difficult it is to concentrate. When I first started meditation and I tried to concentrate, I was thinking about the stress I had at work. I was thinking about the argument I had 2 days ago. It's very hard to just say to a youth, you should be meditating. How? You know, how are you going to tell? There's a difference between a 50-year-old Pandit or like a 10-year-old male or female. There's differences. So it's all about taking small steps, small goals. As long as your intentions are pure and you're trying your best. All of us in this conversation now, we're all Arya Samaji. We're all, and what we do, what we don't, doesn't really classify us as something we not are. So a way we're going to help youth is saying Arya Samaji, being an Arya Samaji is easy and simple. A bit more about that. A bit more of other things we can talk about is, if I'm not doing Hawan Yaj, a bit more about this purity. If I'm not doing Hawan Yaj, if I'm not doing yoga every day, does this mean I'm not on my path to salvation? I think it's really important to emphasize that if your intentions are pure and if you're trying your best, that's all that matters, and everything will automatically fall into place. So I think this is the way we should be approaching youth, and this is the way we're actually going to get youth to come to Arya Samaj and participate in our practices. Other reasons why being an Arya Samaji and following Vedic Dharma is easy, because God's everywhere. I have to go to the temple to go see God. I don't have to be fasting to go see God. God's everywhere. And in fact, I can pray to God everywhere. When I'm sleeping and when I'm about to go to sleep, I can say the Gayatri mantra. I can feel God. God Om's with us right now. It's like oxygen. We can't see oxygen, but we're breathing oxygen. Coronavirus, we can't see coronavirus, but coronavirus is there. So God's everywhere. The concept's very easy and simple. If someone says, how can you find God? What do I have to do to find God? What do I have to do? Pray, you tell me, what do I have to do to find God? I say, God is everywhere. That's another way we can show how being an Arya Samaji is very simple. And the best thing about following Vedic Dharma is that you can be anyone. You can be a female to be a Pandit. You know, anyone can follow the Vedic Dharma. It's not based on religion. It's not based on race. It's not based on whether you're uneducated or educated. So I think that's why Vedic Dharma, being Arya Samaji, following Vedic Dharma is really easy. And I think rather than doing 1-2 hour speeches and forcing our children, sometimes in Hindi, because when I was a younger child, I didn't understand Hindi. So sometimes forcing children to do things they don't want to do, that isn't the right way to go. We have to be enthusiastic, happy, you know? For example, in Arya Samaji, as long as your intentions are pure, you can go to it. You can go to the disco. You can go eat out with friends. You can do anything. That's the blessing. That's the best thing about being an Arya Samaji and following Vedic Dharma. When I think about Vedic Dharma, if you look at Hillsong Church, so here in Sydney, we have something called Hillsong Church, and the way that they promote Christianity is they have festivals. They have festivals when children are singing, oh Jesus, they're happy. But they post online, oh, I'm so excited to go to church tonight. However, when my friends, when they say, oh, we have to go to the Samaj, they're like, why do I have to go to the Samaj? They don't want to sit down for 2 hours, hearing someone talk to them and then afterwards it just means nothing. We have to be very purposeful. We have to be very meaningful. And I think the way that the message has been portrayed is just very, like it's very difficult, which it's not. So a part of being Arya Samaji, I think it's our goal to make the world noble. And how are we going to do that? I think we should all try our best to get the youth to come, motivate them, you know, let's go to the temple. It's going to be fun. It's going to be exciting. Encourage others, you know, let everyone be like, how about we sing the Gayatri Mantra? Make it interesting, make it fun, make it engaging. So tell everyone, and right now, if all of us in this Zoom, if we want to continue the movement by Maharishi Dayananda Saraswati, we actually have to counter the current barriers. Right now, I think the major barrier is that you don't want to come. They don't want to come. Very few of them want to come. So we everyone in the Zoom has to motivate and encourage you to come. Let's be exciting. Let's think of ways and strategies. But, you know, let's say, hey, it's going to be fun. It's going to be simple. You know, we'll eat nice food. We'll hear nice stories. So that's what my speech today was about. I invite you all to sing the Gayatri Mantra. Make it sound loving, exciting. People should want to hear it. It should be amazing. You should feel a sense of like excitement when you sing the Gayatri Mantra. So that's why I think that's a bit about my topic today. Being an Arya Samaji is simple and easy. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Very well presented, both of you. Any questions from anybody?
Well, I'm from Sydney, and I would like to congratulate these two girls whose parents have brought them in such a way so they are here where they are. And I'm so proud to say that they have done a wonderful thing, and that's where everybody should be starting their life with Arya Samajis. The Arya Samajis, the Vedic teachings start from home. If the parents are in them, and if they could bring their children away from the start, never mind whether they can understand anything or not, but keep on doing the Havanyas and keep on explaining them what they mean. And in a way, in some place or somewhere or the other, they will be able to stand where these two girls are. And it will prove that all the children right from the beginning, from the little age, they would come into this and they will understand the meaning of Vedic mantras and the activities they do in their normal lives. It's just plain and simple as these two girls have described. And I'm so proud and I'm so happy. Thank you so much. That's all I want to say.
Thank you, Auntie. What's your name again, please?
I'm Pushpa Singh from Seven Hills, Australia.
Thank you.
And those parents, those who have brought their children in this way, they would know where it starts. And I know some parents and their children who have brought their children into this stage and where they are at the moment. And my heart goes out to them, and I'm so proud. And I could say that they will take this a long way. And if every parent start this from the childhood, they will go a long way with the Vedic Sanstha and Vedic Arya Samaji and the real meaning of where we stand as an Arya Samajist. Thank you.
Kiran Auntie, you want to say something?
जी हाँ, मैं दोनों स्पीकर्स को बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद देना चाहती हूँ। दोनों के जो टॉपिक्स थे बहुत ही अच्छे थे और बच्चों को इनकरेज करना चाहिए। हम भी यहाँ पर छोटे छोटे बच्चों को लेकर उनको यज्ञ सिखाते हैं और मेधा भी उसमें इन्वॉल्व है, उसकी बेटी भी छोटी आती है उसमें यज्ञ सीखने के लिए। और यू कैन सी द डिफरेंस कि छोटे छोटे बच्चे हैं और जो हिंदी नहीं भी जानते हैं फिर भी वो इंग्लिश में वो ओम विश्वानी देव देखते हैं, पढ़ते हैं और बोलते भी हैं और पूरे बिना देखे भी कुछ कुछ बच्चे बोलना शुरू कर दिए। तो इट्स वेरी एनकरेजिंग कि हमारे बच्चे सीख रहे हैं क्योंकि यही हमारे फ्यूचर है ना। तो दोनों स्पीकर्स को मैं बहुत धन्यवाद देती हूँ कि उनके दोनों के जो टॉपिक्स थे बहुत अच्छे थे। थैंक यू
जी, thank you, Auntie. And can I request speakers to ask any specific questions you may have? Any questions to any of our speakers?
I'd just like to add what Kiran Aunty has said. हमारा हवन पुस्तक जो है उसमें हिंदी इंग्लिश दोनों में गिवन है, तो we printed out, Aunty has got a copy of Dainik Yaj from the book that we use, that APS uses in PG, and the children, they can read both Hindi and English. So if they're comfortable with Hindi, they read Hindi. Some adults too, if they're comfortable with English, they read English, and the meaning is given in English, and it's very simple to read it out and very simple for everyone to understand who speaks English, because we do have kids who don't speak Hindi at home. It's not their first language. Their first language is English. So just wanted to add that to what Kiranti said.
Any questions from anybody else, or I can ask one? Prashant ji, please go ahead. Yeah.
जी, मेरे पास एक क्वेश्चन है. पहले तो थैंक यू जसप्रिया बेटा, you have done well. And the question is to you. You want it in English or Hindi?
English, please.
English, okay. So you told us about the what you call meditation. Meditation to, in simple, we call pranayam. Without pranayam, you cannot do meditation. Meditation is a bit different, but you cannot do meditation without pranayam. And how these things are done, what Arya Samaj teaches us is basically why we are doing this is by doing the yajna. If you know the scientific reason for it, the scientific reasoning for it, what it does, what it purifies, how it brings purity in you, and how it helps you by being healthy. That is the main aim. Second thing, it's not compulsory that you do havan. You do not do havan, it's up to you. But by doing havan, you're clearing, you're purifying your parmanu. Parmanu is basically, parmanu, there's no English word for it. Atom, or 1/60th of an atom, they call it. But there's no English word for it. So it is, parmanu is something which is described as the one that cannot be further divided. We have called it Higgs boson and tetron, hadrons, and many other scientific names, but nothing comes close to that. That's why I said that in Hindi, I have to give that word as parmanu. And that purifies ourselves, that purifies our thing. And with pranayam, what pranayam does, it controls your mind. It gives you the ability, it gives you the strength to control your mind. And how it helps you by doing few deep breathe in, breathe out, it takes out the stress from you. The stress which we get it not only from your work or from your school, also from the atmosphere. The stress is caused on our body by different impurities in the atmosphere. Body has to fight to that too. And also, of course, when the atmosphere and everything is not right, the food will not be right. The food will come up with a lot of toxic ingredients, which we have to take it out. That is what havan is. And that is what pranayam is, to control ourselves, control our mind. And especially as you are a student, it will help you a lot to what you call concentrate on what you are doing. And you said like you've spoken to your friends and other people, other youths who might not be your friends, and they've asked that how can we be Arya Samaji? And you've provided, yes, you can be Arya Samaji. That is very good. You've got the right path. You've got the right channel. That, yeah, this is what Arya Samaji is. Arya Samaji is not by going and attending satsangs and all. Satsangs does help. But all you have to say is, an Arya Samaji is a person who is noble, like you've given the definition there before, a noble person. What is a noble person? Noble person is one who not only thinks about developing himself or herself, but everyone. and that is incorporated in our what you call niyam also. One of our niyam says that. So my question is, if you have to communicate to a person, say example, if I meet you and I communicate, and I've got no idea of what Arya Samaj is, and you're talking about Arya Samaj, so what will you tell me this thing? What is it? Is it a religion? Is it a sect? Or what it is? How will you tell me? How will you explain to me? Considering the fact that I'm not an Arya Samaji, I've never heard about Arya Samaji or what an Arya Samaj is.
Thank you for that question. So I actually have a Facebook YouTube channel, and I have a YouTube channel, and I thank you for the group chat. And I've actually, my first video is what is Arya Samaj. So I can also send that video to you later on, but I would start off with, we all know it's a movement, and it was a movement started by Maharishi Dayananda Saraswati. And the movement was at the time was because the values and the morals of what was in the Vedas was, I'm going to keep it simple, was disappeared. It was gone. And so what Maharishi Dayananda Saraswati did was he started a movement called Arya Samaj. And this was to bring back the values. It was done, I think it was done in the previous presentation last month. So to stop, so give me 1 second. So to bring women back to, so give me 1 second. Yeah, so it was to help women, to become leaders, to education for children and women. There was a lot that Maharishi Dayananda Saraswati and just for and there was just a lot he did. So I would say it's a movement, but the point of my speech wasn't what he did. It was how to continue the movement. It's what we're doing now. Because right now, women are leaders. Women are amazing. Children are growing up. Everyone's well educated. What are the issues now? The issues are that you don't want to be a part of the movement. And a part of the movement, if you could be Arya Samaji, a part of it is following Vedic Dharma, which is why I talked about it. That's one big important bit that children do need to recognize. So the current issue now, I'm trying to continue the movement. The movement is how to promote and get children to follow Vedic Dharma. So that's what I said. That's why Arya Samaj is just a movement. Just a movement to make the world noble. And I can send you the link if you want to know about the start of Arya Samaj. And if anyone wants to know that link, I made a Facebook page, but it's just a movement. And I wouldn't be really focusing on that. If someone told me what Arya Samaj, like what do I need to know about Arya Samaj, I would just say, look, it's a movement. It was started before when all the morals and started a long time ago. It was done by Maharishi Dayananda Saraswati. It was to make sure everyone understood the Vedas and how it was properly displayed in society. But I said, look, that's the past, but we need to continue it. We need to look at it now. I want to talk a bit more about now. And I would say now the current issue is about youths and how the Vedas and the knowledge and the participation in society is not there anymore. So yeah, let's focus on that, and we'll focus now.
Thanks, Beta. There's another question. Sorry.
Yeah, sure, go for it.
There's another question. Say, I'll give you an example. One of my friends who is an atheist,
yeah,
he asked me a question after reading our niyams and all. He agreed with everything that this is the way forward for the humanity, except for the first two niyams, because the word God comes in them. And him being an atheist, he said, "No, I would not believe those two, but I will go for the rest of the thing." But if you're talking to me and I'm an atheist, and my question would be, would I be able to become an Arya Samaj or become a member of Arya Samaj if I'm an atheist? I don't believe in God.
Yeah, you answer that one. You'll be good.
Yeah, I think the beauty about Arya Samaj and the Vedic Dharma and all that is that it's quite universal, right? Someone can consider themselves an atheist, someone can consider themselves a Muslim, Christian, but as long as you can still follow the Vedic way of life, right? That can still apply for you. You don't have to believe in God to live by the Vedic way of life. Like a lot of the Vedas is full of science, full of things to help you live better. It's not all about praying to God itself, right? It's the knowledge God has given to us to live better. So I'd say, that's fine, if you don't believe in God, but there's a lot which this movement can provide to you to help you live a life. That's what I would say.
Your internet is playing
Does
up a
that
bit.
answer your question?
Yeah, no, that
Oh,
does answer
okay.
the question. There's another thing. Would you be able to give me an example of any of the atheist personalities in Arya Samaj that existed, or any of the leaders that were atheist?
Sorry, you're asking if I know any Arya
In the history of
Samaj
Arya Samaj,
atheists?
in the history of Arya Samaj, would anyone know that was there an atheist person who used to be leader or who's been considered very high in Arya Samaj?
I don't know any, but I'm sure there would be one that exists.
Definitely.
I'll give you two good names. Why I'm saying that, sorry, I'm not putting down or anything. Why I'm saying that is, if someone asks you, you are able to answer that. That's my aim.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Yeah, I think I definitely see Arya Samaj less as like a religion, more as like a way of life.
Yeah.
A way of being in the universe.
Yeah, I'll give you two good names. One was Pandit Gurudat Vidyarthi. He was an atheist. He had a Shastrat with Maharshi Dayanand. He only became theist when he saw Maharshi Dayanand die. And the second one was where that name is very famous. Everybody knows that. His original name was Munshiram. Later, he was called Swami Shraddhanand. So in case someone asks you that, you've got that answer. Thank you, Beta. Thank you. Well done.
Any more questions?
Yep. There's one question from Matrishwaji. Matrishwaji, please go ahead. You have to unmute yourself, Matrishwaji.
Namaste, Beta. This is Priya.
Namaste.
A well done presentation. Proud of you. I got a small question for you. Arya Samaj in Australia is a movement, small movement in pockets. Brisbane, Sydney, Adelaide, Melbourne, Perth. And one of the aims of our movement is we have established this Arya Yuvadal Australia to connect our youths so that they are able to share their views with each other. Now, in regards to that, what is your message? What is your message to the parents and the Samajas?
What's my message to the parents and Samajas? That's a big question. Well, I'll start with you. What's your message? Do you have one?
I'll make it more simpler. What in regards to connecting our youths so that they share their views in this current generation of yours, what message would you like to give to the parents and Samajas of Arya Samaj?
I think, to integrate your child with religion and your culture, you have to look at it from a modern perspective. It can't just be forceful and, you have to do this. You have to make it something that's fun, engaging, something that they would even like to talk to their school friends about. I went to my community center and I played some games and we sang some songs and it was really exciting and I learned this, So yeah, by looking through a modern lens, it will make them, it will make your children or your youths be more open to listening and being like, okay, I'll give this a go. I'll try.
A bit about my message. I'm not going to give a message. I'm just going to, say a bit of words: motivation, excitement, happiness, fun, enjoyable. It's going to be great. It's going to be amazing. Let's do it.
Yeah, I think it definitely takes a lot of pushing, definitely you have to be very optimistic and convince them. Yeah.
A
Thank you
new way
very
of thinking.
Yeah, thank you very much for your answer. I really appreciate the way you answered it, and I also am trying to encourage the parents to at least let the encourage their kids to participate in this platform, so that we are able to share our views, and we are able to link the youths, the current youths, the current generation, so that they can lead a very happy Arya Samaji life.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Any final closing questions, comments from anybody else?
Guruji, can I ask a question? It's just a general question. It's nothing to do with the presentation, but I think some of the people like who have spoken in this platform, they've used the word Dainik Yaj. I just want to know, like, if Swami Dayanand Saraswati Ji has not used Dainik Yaj in any place, not in the Satya Prakash book, nor has he used in any of the other granths, why are Arya Samaji is using Dainik Yaj, and why should we not use Dainik Yaj as a word, and what is the appropriate word to use for the Yaj that we do?
I think I'll request Pandit Prashant Sharma ji to answer that.
संजीव जी, आप इसका उत्तर देंगे? आपने अपने प्रेजेंटेशन में इसका उत्तर दिया था.
Sorry, I missed that.
Sorry, आप म्यूट में.
Sorry, I missed the question. Can you repeat it again, please? My daughter was crying.
क्वेश्चन ये है कि दैनिक यज्ञ कोई बोलता है, तो उसको दैनिक यज्ञ जब महर्षि ने कहीं लिखा नहीं है, उसको क्या बोलना चाहिए और क्यों बोलना चाहिए?
दैनिक यज्ञ ऋषि जी ने नित्य यज्ञ का नाम दिया है कि जो आपकी ड्यूटी बनती है, जो नित्य कर्म करते हैं, जैसे हम सुबह उठते हैं, अपना स्वच्छादि हम होते हैं प्रतिदिन, जिसमें दंत मंजन है, स्नान करना है, जिस प्रकार से, तो इसी प्रकार नित्य यज्ञ का नाम दिया गया ऋषि जी ने इसको, कि जो हमें नित्य करना चाहिए, जो हमारे एक कर्म है प्रतिदिन करने का, तो इसलिए जी.
जी, धन्यवाद संजीव जी. In simple, all we can say, I'm just translating in English. The difference between Nitya and Dainik is the daily duties, what we do. Nitya is something you cannot forego. For example, Dainik comes under going to the work. And today I don't want to go to the work, I can take sick leave, I can take annual leave, or work from home. So I've got these options. So these things come under Dainik. Nitya things come under, like, you have to brush your teeth, you have to have your shower, you have to clean yourself. That is why those things are called Nitya, which not only improves yourself, it improves other things too. For example, if you do not brush your teeth, you start talking to people, and obviously you will see people holding their nose. And the same thing, if you do not have a shower, do not clean yourself, you are inviting diseases. So these are the only things, that is the only difference. And that is why Rishi has said to say Nitya and Dainik, that is the difference. Thank you.
Thank you, everyone. And any final questions or comments before I head over to Bhatreshwarji for vote of thanks?
Namaste सबको फिर से. I just have one suggestion that has helped me in, you might say that I'm repetitive, but what has helped me is, एक बच्चा जब आता है comes blank. There's no influence की what dharma is, what Christianity is, what Hinduism is. So if we look at everyone in that way, कि एक बच्चा को कैसे सिखाते हैं क्या करना है, like देरी या कुछ भी सिखाते हैं, लैंग्वेज सिखाते हैं, खाना कैसे खाते हैं, एनीथिंग. एंड दैट हैज हेल्प मी अ लॉट कि किसी को समझाते कैसे हैं. व्हेन समवन आस्क यू कि what is something they don't know about, how do you explain it to them? So look at for me, looking at them as if they've just come into this world, they don't know what anything is, and how will you explain what anything is? How will you explain what earth is? How will you explain what sun is? If I do that, I think it helps me to understand and learn better, and then portray that, share that knowledge with everyone. So I hope this helps some people, if it helps anyone. So I just wanted to share that. Thank you.
Thank you, Madhwani ji. In the same flow, I'll also make one short comment that as Jaspreet and yourself, Madhwani ji, you have suggested very good points you made. Is that best thing I like about Arya Samaj is that Arya Samaj and from Vedic principles inspires for the reasoning. And the best part for youth to come to this platform is to ask any question, challenge any question. There's no bad question here on this platform. Nobody will look you down. Any question is good question. The worst question is the question which is not asked. So this is a very good platform where youth can come forward. We, as you all saying that we all grown-ups or youngsters, everyone is learning in this platform. Nobody's old or young, everyone is equal. We learn from each other. That's a most important part. And second thing, Jaspreet, you very well said that we have to start small, baby steps. 3 Gayatri months in a day would be good start. And that's a way forward. Like the biggest challenge I see with the youth is that they feel a pressure of doing so many things in short period of time, and that is very challenging. So with that hope, they build up that they can start very small, very basic steps is a good start. So I think that's a good message we want to give to the wider audience, and we inspire all the youths to come here. And from my personal experiences, like grown up in an Arya Samaji family back in India, what all I learned during majority of my teenage and all is that Arya Samaj means that we don't do Murti Puja, we don't go to temples, and we don't believe in that Andhvishwas and all, but that's it. What we have to do was missing until I come to Australia. And when I started reading lots of our literature, Arsh Grunts with Pandit Prashant Sharma ji and our Acharya ji, with Prakash ji, Shotri ji, that's when I learned that the kind of detailed reasoning we have in our Arsh Granth is second to none. Like we don't have to look out for any other philosopher or any other science book. We have everything in our Arsh Granth. So I really enjoy reading our Arsh Granths. Recently finished Parmanu Vigyan and reading Yog Darshan. So level of detail and reasoning, like it's not about blind following here at all. Even rishis themselves have challenged, asked challenging questions to prove their point. So that's what the reasoning comes in, that you assume for a moment that yes, this God does not exist, for example, then they start building up reasoning from there. The how you see is contradicts to that false assumptions and all. So that's what I like, and I inspire all the youth to come forward to this platform and ask any questions or present any simple topic, as just Preji suggested, and we'll all learn from you. And so it's a very open platform, and look forward to see more youths presenting. Thank you. Oh, I think I'll hand over to Matreshwarji for conclusion, looking at the time. You may be on mute, Matreshwarji. Yeah.
Thank you, Suryaji. Before giving the vote of thanks, I would like to make another comment. Like this is the opportunity, as you said, for our youths to come forward. But when we are back home, our parents tried their best, but we didn't get this sort of opportunity to come and learn things. And however, it's just a small two-line in Hindi said, "Jeevan khatam hua to jeene ka dhang aaya, jab shamma buj gayi to mahfil mein rang aaya." When we started getting old, now we realize that what we missed. So we want our children, our youths to at least know that there's something there which is called Vedic way of life. Anyway, that was a small comment, and in few words of thanks on behalf of Arya Yuva Australia in collaboration with Arya Pratidhi Sabha and Arya Samaj of Melbourne, I would like to thank the following: both the presenters, Madhavani Rao and just Priya Chand. Madhavani Rao elaborated on in detail how to bring up the children for their future, and just Priya elaborated on being Arya Samaji simple and easy. Both of them did a very outstanding, interesting, and brilliant presentations tonight. Both of you have presented the subjects in a very interesting way, and indeed instilled a lot of moments of encouragement in our youths. Thank you very much for both of you for the time and effort you have made to prepare these presentations. Secondly, I would like to thank our host, Mr. Suryaji, and Arya Pratidhi Sabha and Arya Samaj of Melbourne and its members for providing technical support to these youth presentations. And last but not least, I would like to thank all the attendees who have come online today and taken out their precious time in attending our presentations, youth presentations. So that's it. And this is one of our major aims, to connect our youths so that they are able to share their views on this platform, how to include Vedas and Vedic way of life in their current generation. So we'll be sending the flyer out for the next presentations next month. So please encourage your youths, encourage your fellow mates, and encourage other elders to come and support us in this presentation. Thank you very much and have a good night.
सबको नमस्ते।
Namaste.